I'm doing more work on the dollhouse. Got it up on the sawhorses. It was pretty easy. I just lifted one side and stuck underneath, and then the other one, and kind of worked it into place where I wanted it. I left a good area open here because I'm going to set up my rotary laser tool. That guy over there. I'm going to set it up right here. It has a expandable. Well, you'll see. You'll see how that works. So, first step that I wanted to do, let's roll on over here. These are the windows that I have, and then the floor right here. It's kind of dark, but that's how it is over here. Basically, you get your speed square, line it up, mark it across, do the same thing for the windows, tops and bottoms, and then work it around to the front side using your marks on the sides to mark up your lines on the front. And then make sure you label them so you're not marking off the wrong thing and cutting in the wrong spot. Because if you're this far, it would really be a shame if you messed it up. So that's what I'm doing. Another way to do it, this was the panel that I used. Well, that I used it. It's right here. I put it here, but I had turned it reverse and then clamped it in place and marked off where it had everything behind it so that I could shoot nails in there. So I know that this area right here is where there's stuff behind it, and it turns out corresponds with the floor line that I brought over. And you can see there's a slight difference. This one is about 1/8 of an inch. This end is about 1/8 of an inch above where the floor is actually at. And this one kind of looks a little higher than it should. So with the speed square, you got to be really careful. If you're gauging off of your panels that you may or may not have cut precisely square, it could be a little off. Now this is a dollhouse, and you know, after a certain point you have to take the rest of the way and go with your imagination as a kid playing with it. So make it as straight as possible. That's the goal, straight as possible, because you want it to look nice, especially if you're selling these to people. You can't have something looking like a piece of garbage that you're charging a couple $100s. But you know, there's pride in your craftsmanship. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm getting out the rotary laser tool to make sure that it's absolutely straight. I don't want, you know, one window slightly higher than the other ones. It'll look pretty garbage, and I don't want it to look garbage. So take pride in your work, but again, it's a dollhouse for kids to play with. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not sending rockets to the moon. And even with the speed square, you'd probably get pretty close and be able to send a rocket to the moon. I don't know. I've never sent a rocket to the moon, so I can't really talk about that. So yeah, that's this step. You get your lines out here to where you need them, you know, to mark out your windows. And then, so what I'm going to do is send a laser across from this line to this corresponding line. And it's going to shoot a nice straight line all the way across, nice and level, on all these surfaces that I can mark off of. So that's that for now. I'm going to set that up and show you guys what I'm talking about. While I'm at it, before I get this all set up, you can see why I decided to get these sawhorses. They were $30 a piece. I got them at Lowe's. I made a video about them. I'm going to post it soon. If you guys are watching this, check it out. But basically, the dollhouse sitting on the floor, even on the roller dolly that I made, the laser level can't get low enough to get those, and I didn't want to be in a situation where I'm propping it up on like bricks or something. That's an option, but I'd rather use the stand because the stand has a little bubble level on it. So I know that it's absolutely level with the floor, and then it has levels on the actual rotary head to make sure that it's absolutely level. What else? So I'm going to want to check the level on these to make sure that the dollhouse is level itself, because if that's level and that isn't, the lines aren't going to be straight. But that's why I went the extra mile and put the two lines where I know I need to shoot between. Because as long as those are lined up, logically, it should be exactly where I need it to go. So that is within spec of, you know, short distance leveling. That might offset it by 1/8 of an inch if I was going level to level. That's being the Dollhouse's level and the Tula's level. So again, once more emphasizing the importance of drawing out these lines. I can adjust the angle on this and not use this as a rotary level. I can use it as a rotary line drawer, and that's more the purpose that I'm doing for this. I'm using it as a laser line drawing device, line marking device. So that being off for this isn't really going to be a big deal, and that's one of the reasons I'm glad I bought this. Another method I could do, you know, mark it off and do like a chalk line type of a deal and measure, you know, from here to here and then there to there and there to there. But this is easier. It's much easier. That would be a lot more work. I could do it that way. That's how they used to do it. They didn't have cool lasers back in the day when they used to build handmade dollhouses. So this is what I'm doing, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so the laser level is set up and ready to go. And how that works, there's a little bubble level in here, so you can make sure your tripod is nice and level. If it's not, it takes a bit of doing. But the tripod legs extend with two like 1 foot extension pieces. But you get those lined up correctly, make sure that that's good. Lock everything in place, and then use these adjustment screws. There's 3 of them. Adjustment knobs, I guess. You adjust those, and I'm not going to show you guys that part, it's kind of boring, but you adjust them until your bubble here is level and your bubble in there is level. And then you make sure your batteries are put in there. Always take your batteries out, especially if you're getting Harbor Freight ones. These come with batteries. I wouldn't leave them in there. If they short out, you know, inside and swell and explode or whatever, they're stuck in there and you're not getting it back out. And this costs $60, which it's a lot of money for somebody to spend on something that you're just gonna trash. So always take your batteries out. Don't leave them in there, especially if they're cheap batteries and things that you want to keep. All right, so once that's good and ready to go, we got our little on knob here. This is a on, off, and speed control for this here. This is where the laser shines out of, to this little eye. So we're going to turn that on. If I'm going the right way. There, it's on, little light comes on, laser goes on, and it starts spinning. So I said it controls the speed. We'll actually raise it up. There's a little knob here that raises it and lowers it. So this knob, the speed knob, controls the speed. So it's kind of slow right now, and you can turn it up basically, or not basically, but you do. Turn it up and it spins faster and faster until, hopefully you guys can see this, I can see it in my viewfinder, until basically it makes a line pretty much. So what we're going to do, we see our first line there that we need to go to, and the other one is right there. We're going to raise it up with the height adjust. Oh. Raise it up. I'm doing this one-handed, so it's kind of slow. If you're doing it two-handed, hold the tripod, because this thing is light. We don't want it to tip. So right about there. It's even with that. Right there. Okay, once it's adjusted to the height that you want, you can lock it in with this, so it's not going to fall back down. I don't think it really would, but if it was on a vibrating surface, it might lower and then mess up your measurements. So we can see the speed square is a little off, not too off. Over here, looks pretty good. That side's a little low, and the other side's a little high. Probably about 1/8 of an inch, 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. That's why I'm doing this. This really shows you why, with the speed square you can be a little off. But now doing this, I can mark off my windows all the way across and not have a problem. I know exactly where, the top and bottom of each window needs to be, and like the top of a door. So that's good. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth taking the time. Now, since it's off, if I wanted it to go to touch on that mark and to touch on this mark over here, what I would do is unlevel it with those level adjustment knobs until the laser touches on this line and that line, and then I know it's absolutely perfect. So there's that. I'm going to mark up some windows and then, show my progress. Real quick, another note, I thought about using my motorcycle lift motorcycle jack to do this, to lift it up. I didn't know if it was going to be as sturdy, and I did want a set of sawhorses. These are pretty good. I might use them on my sailboat, as a little platform so I can work on the side. But yeah, there's an option. You can use your motorcycle lift if you have one, or if you want to get into this, that might be a good option. It's going to kind of teeter this way. That's what I was worried about. It might not. You might want to strap it down to it when you lift it, but it works. So I went to go turn my laser on, and I realized that a laser beam shoots out the top as well. I don't know why they do that. Out of this little hole right here, that's where it comes out, and it shoots up to the ceiling. I don't know why. Maybe if you want to do some kind of a plumb measurement. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why at all, because I don't know how you would get it on the bottom. Maybe if they shot a laser out of the bottom too, that corresponded, and then you could hang a plumb line from up there to make sure. Gosh, I don't know. I don't know what that does or why it's on there, but that's a cool feature. If you know what it does, be sure to leave it in the comments below. So I got them pretty well lined up. You can see that one is over there. There's a lot more lights on. It'd be easier if I had some of them turned off for you to see, but I can see it pretty good. And you will when you do this. If you can't, turn the lights down. They give you laser enhancement goggles. They're like red filtered glasses that you put on so you can see the laser better, if it's sunny or bright. So yeah, that one's lined up. That one's lined up, and you can see I'm going to turn this adjustment screw right here. Oh, sorry. Hit you guys with the laser. I'm going to turn this adjustment screw, and you can see, how easily it adjusts. So that's a quarter turn up. That's about a half turn. And then, so that is lowering this side, which makes the laser go like this. So then that one's gonna go a little bit lower. Actually, I should say about it, but basically you get the idea. Once you get it about there, turn the screw, the adjustment knob, until it gets exactly where you want it, and that's about perfect right there. So I'm gonna lock everything in place and then mark it up. So now that I got it marked, just put little tick marks in the corners there and there and there. Now that I got it marked, I'm gonna raise it to my next level and get these lined up, and then do the next one. The reason that I'm doing the little tick marks, I'm going to take a straight edge and go across and then draw a line, and then keep working my way up and get all those. I'm going to have to extend the legs on here to get higher, because this only goes like a foot and a half maybe. So I'm going to have to extend the legs on there to raise it up so that I can get the higher points. So this is the full height of the tripod that I can go, which kind of sucks. If you want to do like a higher thing, if you're trying to hang pictures on your wall, you're gonna have to put it on like a little table surface. But there's that option. That's how you would do that. So this is as high as it goes. I am 5'6" ish. Some would say 5'5". That's where the line is, top to bottom there. So it's about halfway up the dollhouse. So what I have to do is take the sawhorses out and drop the dollhouse back down to measure the rest of it. What else was I going to say about that? I think that's it. So I got you know, up to here. That's the top and the bottom of this floor's windows, where that's going to go, and then you know, there's the floor. I should mark the floor because I do want to put doors. That's where a door is going to go, and then the windows are in between there. So to get to the bottom of this door, I have to drop it down and then reset everything. That's it for now. So there's no reason to bore you guys with the rest of this. I just thought about it. You know, you saw how I do it. I explained the whole procedure. There's no reason to bore you guys. I'm gonna keep doing the same thing to get these lines, and then I'll do a separate video to do my vertical lines that I'm gonna use to cut out my windows. So that keeps you hooked. Keep it on the edge, kind of like a cliffhanger season finale, but not really. Not really. You could just go down the playlist and hit that next video that I'm gonna make. So that's it for now for this video. I hope you guys found this informative. It gives you a reason to check out this tool. I'm gonna reference this video for my review of this. So hope you guys have an outstanding day. I love you guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm out.